The house had been abandoned for years. At least, that's what the townspeople of Black Hollow believed. It stood at the end of a narrow, unpaved road, its skeletal frame silhouetted against the perpetual fog that rolled in from the hills. No one had dared enter since the disappearances. No one, until tonight. Ethan, Claire, and Daniel were thrill-seekers, the kind of people who laughed in the face of urban legends. They filmed haunted locations for their YouTube channel, always searching for the next big scare. The Holloway House was their latest project, its history drenched in blood and whispered rumors. The legend was simple: if you entered after midnight, you wouldn't come out. No bodies were ever found. Just missing posters and unanswered questions. Ethan adjusted his camera, making sure the night vision was on. "All right, guys, remember, keep the lights low. We want this to look as eerie as possible." Claire rolled her eyes. "As if this place needs help being creepy." Daniel chuckled, but his voice was forced. He'd been the most reluctant to come. "Let's just get this over with." The front door was unlocked, slightly ajar, as if welcoming them inside. The air inside was thick with dust and the scent of decay. The wooden floor groaned under their weight as they stepped into the grand foyer. A chandelier, long dead of light, dangled precariously above them, cobwebs clinging to its golden arms. "All right," Ethan whispered, "we split up to cover more ground. Stay in sight of the cameras." They moved cautiously. Ethan took the left corridor, leading to the old study. Claire climbed the stairs, her flashlight flickering along the faded wallpaper. Daniel, reluctant as ever, wandered toward the parlor. The house remained eerily silent, until the whispers began. The study. Ethan scanned the room, panning his camera across the walls lined with bookshelves. He paused. One of the books was missing from the shelf, an empty gap in the dust-covered rows. Then, a whisper. Soft, almost indistinguishable. Like breath against his ear. He spun around. No one was there. The whisper came again, a single word this time. "Stay." The camera feed crackled. His flashlight dimmed. Ethan swallowed hard. His bravado was slipping. He reached for the book that had been missing, pulling it from the shelf. The moment he did, the whispering stopped. And something growled. The staircase. Claire ascended carefully, feeling the chill deepen with every step. The upstairs hallway was lined with doors, all closed. She turned, sweeping her flashlight across the corridor. A shadow moved. Her breath hitched. "Hello?" The whisper was barely audible, just behind her ear. "Run." She spun around, but there was nothing. The temperature dropped further. Her breath became visible in the cold air. She took a step forward. The door at the end of the hallway creaked open on its own. Claire hesitated, then pushed forward. Inside the room, she found a child's bed, its sheets in disarray. A small rocking horse stood in the corner, unmoving. Then it moved. Slowly at first, then faster. A rhythmic creaking filled the air. Claire stepped back, her heart hammering. She turned to leave, and the door slammed shut behind her. The parlor. Daniel kept close to the exit, anxiety gnawing at him. The room was filled with antique furniture covered in white sheets, making them look like ghosts waiting for bodies. Then he heard it. A sob. Faint, broken. Daniel froze. His camera feed flickered, static buzzing in his ears. The sobbing grew louder. He turned the camera toward the sound, heart pounding. A figure stood in the corner. Small, hunched. A child. Daniel's throat tightened. "Hey, are you okay?" The child lifted its head. Its face was hollow. No eyes. No mouth. Just smooth, pale skin stretched over a featureless face. Then it moved. The house awakens. The whispers turned to laughter. Mocking, cruel. The house groaned, as if waking from a long slumber. The walls rippled, shifting like breathing flesh. Ethan ran from the study, the book still clutched in his hands. He skidded into the foyer just as Claire barreled down the stairs, her face pale with terror. "Where's Daniel?" she gasped. A scream echoed from the parlor. Ethan and Claire rushed in, their cameras struggling to focus in the dim light. The sheets on the furniture had fallen, revealing grotesque figures frozen in twisted, agonized poses. Statues of former victims, their faces contorted in silent screams. Daniel was nowhere to be seen. The laughter grew louder. The front door slammed shut. And then, the house began to feast.